Hi, it's Dwyer. Let's talk Final Four. Let's talk about a game I think that's mispriced. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Folks, there already is a winner in this NCAA, and it's Ken Pomeroy. His website, which rates the teams, can be found at kenpom.com. Again, that's kenpom.com. Right? Now, let me point out we're in a new world in college basketball. It involves transfer portals. Right? This might be the new paradigm where tournaments go according to chalk. Let's talk about KenPom's ratings. I want to focus on the Duke Blue Devils against the Houston Cougars. Right? KenPom, and you should know this, has Duke, a young team. Average age of their starting five is 19.4 years of age. Right? A lot of their stars are younger guys. KenPom has Duke, the top-rated offense in the NCAA. He has Houston, the 10th-rated offense. He has Duke, the 4th-rated defense in the NCAA. He has Houston number one. Number one. Now let me just say, in big moments like this, right, it's a Final Four. Getting to the Elite Eight's tough. Getting to the Sweet 16's tough. Folks, the Final Four has the extra pressure. Right? Teams show up. They're hearing that they won their regional. It's a new crowd. The other three top teams are there in the arena. The press is there. It's a one-location event. To me, this is akin to the first quarter of the Super Bowl. Now, you might be shocked to know that even great quarterbacks like Tom Brady have a hard time scoring touchdowns in the first quarter of the Super Bowl. Right? Pat Mahomes, you remember his last Super Bowl. He's notoriously a great second half of the Super Bowl player. But in the first half, he has problems. Now, you have a situation here where the Cougars have been on fire defensively. What do I mean by that? Folks, their last two games, their opponents have not topped 60 points. Right? They've played 4 games in this NCAA tournament. In 3 of the 4 games, their opponents have scored 60 or less. Right? The only game that's an outlier is the Gonzaga game, where Gonzaga scored 76 points. Now you add in the youth of the players. Right? Duke can score, but Duke's young. You're going to have a lot of three-point shooters unable to hit the side of a barn in that first half. Right? You think about the fact that in general in NCAAs, unders start to take over as you get deeper and deeper in the tournament. And to me, this bet makes itself. Right now, the over-under in the game is 136.5. Let me repeat that. 136.5. Folks, only one game that Houston has played in this entire tournament has gone over that number. 1. Right? Let me point out, Houston's so much on fire defensively that they just gave up a whopping 50 points to Tennessee. Right? Whopping 50 points. And Tennessee, understand, was a high seed. The bet I like here is the under 136.5. I'm expecting the first half to be an anxiety fest. I'm expecting these young guys to realize that they're before a national audience at a crown jewel event, and I'm expecting them to panic. Right? Houston is great from three. Now, the Steph Currys of the world, the Kevin Durants of the world, they can hit threes in snowstorms. Right? They'll show up. Both of those guys have won MVP of the NBA Finals. Right? They can show up. They can hit threes. I think these young guys are going to have a hard problem. The event's just too big. They're going to try to be conservative. Right? I'll be surprised if these teams get to half of 136 by halftime. Right? Houston strangled Tennessee. They understand the way to win is to snuff the other team out early. Understand, you want a competitive game for most of it. You don't want the situation that you had in Houston against Tennessee, where both teams scored 35 points each in the second half. But understand, even that game finished with a score of 69 to 50. 119 points scored. That's more than 16 points below this over-under in this game. Right? Understand, too, the game before that Houston played against Purdue, 122 points were scored in that game. That game is, 14 points below. In fact, 14 and a half points below the 136 and a half that you're getting here. I think the 136 and a half is too generous. I understand. You have the number 1 rated offense going up against the number 10 rated offense. I get it. Right? Just understand that defense wins championships. I think the Cougar defense is the big story here. Duke's not bad themselves. They're the 4th best defensive team in the country. Cumulatively, these two teams, for all the high flyers they have, for all the great team three-point shooting Houston has, cumulatively, in the aggregate, these teams together are better defensively than they are offensively. I like the under 136.5 points. I'm making this video. It's not an April Fool's video. On April 1st, I'm expecting the 136.5 to drop between now and tip-off. So I'm getting in right here. I like the under 136.5 in the Duke versus Houston game. Let me hear from you. Gamblers, tell us your thoughts on this game, any angle you want to pursue, who wins, who loses, and why, in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.